Hello lovely viewers. In the previous videos we learned how to build our Alexa object where we take in a string and return tokens. Now in this video we are going to learn to build a parser such that after parsing through whatever the Alexa returns from this string, we are going to get a Python object. In this case, for this particular string, a dictionary. Let's get straight on. Well, I've done a couple of imports already, so we just do class parser, we initialize it, then we keep a reference of this Alexa object. We need to have a reference of the current token, which is going to be of this type, and for now we set it to none. Then the next token also we set it to none, and after this initialization we call self.next and we create next. This is almost the similar boilerplate as we had before, so we set the current token to, and then we set the next token to whatever the Alexa returns. Then we need to define a means of parsing, and whenever we parse we can return a union of string, int, float, dict, list. We could do much more, but we would end our list over here, and every time we are going to call next so that we advance to the next token, and we are going to do a couple of checks. We check if the current token is type, which is usually the first index, is one of string or none, then we simply return. Now we are returning the second item in that tuple because sorry, I must have made a mistake here. Here is supposed to be an L bracket. My bad, type mistakes. So coming down here, whenever we created a number, we did the conversion of the string into an integer or a float, and so there is no need to handle any conversion. We can just return it and we are done. But where the real work is when we find something like a dictionary, and that is an L brace. So we need to define this helper function. Now this returns a dictionary, and the key is relatively many things, so let's just keep it that way. We create our new dictionary object, and then we are going to do a new final loop to make sure we capture all the keys and values. So we do a while solve the current token 0 is not equal to so if it's not not equal to, that would be an outbrace. Yes, if I remember correctly, to be an outbrace from our tokens. Then what we are going to do is we are going to get the key, and the key you are just going to recursively call this parse function. So it's like this make dict, this parse calls make dict when it finds a dictionary, and make dict utilizes this parse function to get his keys and values. Now anytime we get the key, if we check from here, when we pass an item, we will still be sitting on that item. So first let's do a check to see if the next token It's a colon because a dictionary needs to have a colon in it. So this cell dot end token 0 is not a colon, then it means, well, something is wrong. You raise an exception and we say expected a colon. Got cell dots end token. So we expected a colon, we got something else. And if that is the case, we call next, so that we will be sitting on the column now, and then we can call pass. And when we call pass, though we are sitting on the column, it's going to advance, and then we are going to sit on the next token after the column. And when we have this value, we just set these. Yep, simple setting. And when we are done setting, suppose we are done, we would, if there is a comma, we'll be sitting before the comma, or if there is a closing brace, we'll be sitting before it. So we need to advance to sit on top of it. Pardon me. Now after this, we simply need to return this new date. Now we are not doing extensive error handling. Remember, the goal of the channel is to learn things the simple way, and so we are not doing any complex error handling. Now there is a case where we are presented with an L bracket. I asked that you put comments for us to rename this L bracket thing. Where is it? This guy, box bracket, L bracket. Oh, did I name it LR bracket? Oh, sorry, L bracket. I didn't have a good name, so I just used it. Anyway, if we have this L bracket, then all we need to do is return make a cell.make list. Now this make list is relatively simple. The reason it's simple is that we are just going to pass one item and not a key value pair, just a value. So we just need to create our new list, and then we say, wow, the current token is not, whilst the current token is not an R bracket, then we just need to call self.pass. So we pass the value, we append it, and when we append, suppose there is a comma, we will be sitting right before that comma, so we just need to call self.next, and afterwards we return new list. Now return. It's not very typical to have tuples in JSON, but during our lesson phase we created this L parent, R parent. So suppose that is meant for handling tuples. All we need to do is make a copy of this function, just a copy. So let me rename this new list to tuple, and these two also need to be tuples. But the problem with tuples, the problem I remember with tuples is that I think they don't have this append method, or do they? Well, suppose they do. So we just do a check and see. Parenthesis. So return cell that make tuple. Let me correct this indentation fault. Now I just hope that tuples actually have this append method. Yeah, maybe let's just check from the terminal and see. By a is equal to tuple. Shit. A equals tuple a dot append. Let's see. So a tuple has no append. That is sad. It has no append, so this whole thing will be difficult and wouldn't make sense. I'll just comment it out over here. I'll just comment it out. Now, one thing we need to do is, what if somebody passes in something we've not defined a rule for? Then we need to return none. I think none. And after looking through our previous implementation, I realized we never did an else check for something that we did not define a rule for in this lecture. So suppose somebody passed in a character from a language we don't know about or anything, then or any character we didn't define a rule for, like exclamation mark and the rest, we return the same end of file. And I think that is it. So let me close this, go into our tests and try to pass. Well, we got our dictionary, but when you look at it this way, it's like we got the same string we passed in. So let's actually print its type and see whether we got a Python dictionary or just a string. So yes, we got a dictionary. Now let's try to put in a list. So say list 1 2 3 4 and see. Let's see about this. We still got our tuple and our dictionary, so it turns out everything works as expected. Now let's actually inspect it. So let's do some manipulations with it. My dictionary is equal to parser.pass. Then we can print list is my dict list and see if you get everything. Print value of key 1 is, then my dict 1. So let's see if everything works. Well, yes, of course everything works. And ladies and gentlemen, we are done building a parser. Now so far what we have built equals to what in Python's JSON model we have. So for instance, let me test against import JSON, and let's do result is equal to JSON dot loads, and we pass in the string, then we print the results. Let's see if there is going to be any difference. Expecting property name enclosed in quotation marks. Well, it seems JSON is giving us an error from somewhere, and it's not even telling us where the error is coming from. Is it? Is it? Line 1, column 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Expecting the property name to be enclosed in double quotes. Oh yes, and as I told you before, if you have JSON, you can't just put numbers as keys. They need to be enclosed in quotation marks, and this is exactly what JSON told us. See, the JSON model told us, well, we need to put quotation mark around it, but our implementation works. This, however, well, ours just work. This is awesome. Remember, we are building a basic parser, not an advanced parser. I'll just take this out and print my dict and see how beautiful creation at work. Wow. See you